Hello viewers, good morning. I'm Ron Grant. You're watching 284 Media out of Tortola in the beautiful British Virgin Islands. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in this morning. The Elmore Stout High School will be featuring once again the Spring Concert 2021, which will be held on Sunday, May 16th at the Eileen L. Parsons Auditorium, and we are joined by three, that is, of the territory's finest music instructors at the Elmore Stout High School. We talk music program, recovery from hurricanes Irma and Maria, and of course the highly anticipated and exciting spring concert that's coming up this weekend. You don't want to miss it. All this and so much more after a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
The win. Oh.
What in the hell?
I'm freaking out.
Gentlemen,
is about these people.
It's always a pleasure coming to you live and direct from the
What's poppin'? What's really good?
Davis has won it for the Lakers.
Viewers, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. As promised, we are joined by three of the territory's finest music instructors at the Elmore Stout High School. Gentlemen, good morning and thank you so much for your time.
Good morning.
I'll allow you to go ahead and you even say good morning in unison. Look at that. I'll allow you to each go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right, good morning, all. Mr. Andre Braithwaite, the head of the Fine Arts Department at the Elmore Stout High School Senior Division, and I'm also the senior concert band director. And I'm joined here with a couple of my other directors here this morning. Introduce yourself.
Morning, my name is Mr. Ronnie Crawford. I'm the teacher of the steel pan group. I'm the steel pan coordinator for Elmore Stout High School, and I teach the junior division.
And
good morning, everyone. My name is Brandon Powell. I teach junior and senior school, as well as I'm the junior band concert director.
Wonderful. Gentlemen, the music program at the Elmore Stout High School has seen quite a bit of transition. The most recent, of course, after the hurricanes of 2017. Still grappling and still trying to get it back together. When you look and put the music program at the Elmore Stout High School into perspective, many students in the territory of the Virgin Islands have been able to benefit from the program. I want to speak, before we get into the recovery of the music program, Mr. Braithwaite, as director of the Fine Arts Department, I want to ask you, how important is the music program at the Elmore Stout High School, not only to the Elmore Stout High School, but more so the territory of the Virgin Islands?
well, that's a very good question, Ron. Thank you for asking. The Fine Arts and the Music and Art departments at the Elmore Stout High School are very, very valuable, very important. We teach, we just don't teach art and music, but we teach discipline, we teach teamwork, and we have a number of students in the community. Some are very, we've been doing this program from, I think, the late 70s and the 80s, early 80s. And you've seen so many people come out of the program. You were there as well. I've seen some of your other comrades here working from the program. We happen to be a part of the program as well, even though we're back directing. But what it is in the community itself, without music, there's a lot of things that you're lacking. And for instance, when you go to church, a church without music might sound a little weird. And so we have musicians in the churches. I'm so pleased when I see all my students, when I go to visit different churches, they're playing and they're singing in the churches. There are a number of different bands that have come out over the years. People are performing at hotels, they're performing at shows, they're performing internationally, and they've come out of this Elmore Stout High School music program. And so we've had really great success over the years. Of course, when the hurricanes came, it mashed up, majority of the school was demolished. And so we had a campaign at one point when Mrs. Anna Hill was there. We were able to have an actual concert outdoors at the Pier Park and start to raise some funds. And since that, we've continued to reach out, and people have been, been really good with their giving, thank God, and we continue to, receive from them. A number of different groups have come together at one point. The Maples group, Unite BVI, and the RDA put together and actually gave us We have the trailer that we're working from because we started from in tents.
Yes.
And we have the trailer that we're walking in right now, so it's a little bit more comfortable. We do still need more space, but at a time like this where there's so many different challenges, we're thankful that we have some place to walk out of. And after COVID came last year, you realized that we didn't have a concert for that entire year. So now, the students are excited. The parents are excited, and the community has been asking, when are you guys going to do a concert? So, what we've been able to do is we just started back these few ensembles that we're representing at this concert this Sunday. We started back in February. We weren't able to get all of the ensembles going at the time because of the different protocols and different things that are happening with the time and so forth with the school. But we're trying to make sure we put a good showing out there as we've done before. Definitely look forward to expecting the same level and class of music from our students, our awesome students at the Elmore Stowe High School.
Wonderful. Mr. Bratwith, you spoke about the impacts of course, hurricanes in 2017. Mr. Crawford and Mr. Powell, throughout this time in the rebuilding process, what has the response been from the students, most importantly, from your ends?
From my end, it's hard, actually, because unlike the other sections, the kids don't have an instrument to go home with.
Understood.
So it's like, Mr. Crawford, when we going to start back, Mr. Crawford, I want to come school, Mr. Crawford. And I'm like, you can't come yet, but we're trying to work on it. So when they heard that sections of the school were coming back, what we did was we geared the band towards the 9th graders because they have an ensemble grade. So I would say, okay, cool. Instead of just bringing in first and second farmers, let me get it towards the 9th so we can get the ball rolling, and hopefully come September, as things progress, we'll put more time in and we get more students to come in to actually participate and perform.
Mr. Powell?
Yeah, it has been a struggle for a lot of the kids, even going back to Orma. As Mr. Bradley mentioned, we were under tents. We started rehearsing under tents in 2018, 2019, if I remember correctly. And it was a struggle. We would have to use a generator to get things going under the tents. The kids were hot, but the kids were also determined. And I appreciate that resilience from the students. And we see that even now, some of them don't have instruments, but they would practice stuff on, they would use their phones or their tablets, depending on what the instrument is. Like if they're playing guitar, for example, they would download like some kind of guitar app and practice using that because they don't have a guitar. And so it's been tough on them, but they've been pretty resilient overall.
Wonderful. Mr. Bratwith, you alluded to the discipline that is the music department, and I want to go back to that because a lot of persons might have the misconception that, you're just playing an instrument. We, of course, as educators know and understand that with that comes a certain level of discipline. I want you to speak to that and how it really fosters a level of seriousness throughout the music students.
Well, from the time you come to our school and you have to do music in 7th grade, it's one of the first things that we talk about. The instruments, for instance, they're pretty expensive. As a parent, I can say that, as well as a teacher and being in charge of instruments for years. They're very expensive. And so when you have students that come in, first of all, we have to teach them how to treat and deal with the instruments. Also how to treat and deal with each other, because we all affect each other. And so discipline starts from there. Just as simple as when a teacher is speaking to you, raise your hand or you say present or here. Simple little things that we start with. We actually still do when we do have the opportunity before COVID. We would make students line up. Yes, we still make them line up. There's certain things that we put into our program that helps to keep the discipline so that students come into the atmosphere at the right place in their mind, knowing that I'm coming to do something serious. As much as it is fun, we can't have a fish market going on and teach music or the arts. So we start with that, and then as they progress and they understand what they're doing, as they learn on the instrument from month to month, from year to year, we continue to instill that discipline until it gets to when a student comes to 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. By the time they get to 10th grade, there's certain things that they already know that they should do. Students enter in a class, we won't have to tell them at 10th or 11th grade to say good morning. They actually enter and they say good morning. They get themselves set up. They know where they have to put their certain things. And there's that level of discipline that we continue to teach right through. So by the time they graduate, you have a student that's going back into the community and doing, you know, wonderful things, great things, having respect for others. And the thing about it, sometimes people think that we just get certain students. We get all students. Everybody in 7th grade does music, so we get the good, the not so good. I don't like to call students bad. We get the good and the not so good. But once they stay with us, they tend to come out really well. And that's something that I'm proud and I'm pleased to see over the years. So our discipline doesn't change. Yes, we're living in different times, but discipline is one of those things, you know, that you need to have. Otherwise, those very expensive instruments will get mashed up, and we will have a real struggle. Because it's hard to go and say, we need a xylophone and it costs $3,000. That's one instrument. Yes. We can't afford for students to mash up that instrument because everybody has to use that instrument.
Understood.
So all level of discipline always has to be up here. And we work well as a team at the music department at the Elmore Stout High School, and that helps with the discipline. So those are some of the things that we really, you know, try to establish. And also we also invite every now and then people who have gone through the program, who are out in the community working and doing different things. We let them come back and sometimes just speak with the children so that they can understand what we're doing. You don't necessarily have to graduate from Elmore Stout High School and become a musician. Okay, but we still expect you to be a person in the community that's doing good things, and you know, also encouraging and inspiring others as well. So that's very important. At the Elmore Stout High School, what we're doing. So
wonderful. And speaking of very expensive instruments, Mr. Powell, since the recovery, the process of trying to recover from the hurricanes of Irma and Maria, how can persons in the community who have gone through the music program or just are fans of it? We have a lot of persons throughout the territory that simply just love and look forward to our concerts, the concerts at the Elmore Stout High School. But Mr. Powell, speak to what persons in the community can do to support the music program, whether it's donating an instrument that they no longer use. Speak to that aspect of community partnership.
Sure. We've had some businesses donate some instruments to the program, various instruments, saxophones, trumpets, trombones, bass guitars. We've had people who were in the program previously who don't use their instrument anymore and decided, you know, we'd rather donate it to you. So for those past students who still have their instrument from years past, you know, if you feel like it would be better served by having the current generation use it, you can bring it in and donate it. We'll check it out, see if there's any problems with it. And most of us, we know how to repair all the instruments. If we don't know how to do it, we can find somebody who can. And they can donate the instruments. If they don't have an instrument and they still want to donate to the program, we suggest that, you know, you can speak to us and ask us, you know, which brands of instruments do we recommend you buy, because we wouldn't recommend a person who doesn't buy instruments regularly. They might not know which ones are quality versus ones that will break down in a week. So we ask that, you know, you come in, talk to us, you know, we'll let you know what brands or what price range you should look into to donate an instrument. So they can do that, just bring in an instrument to us, and that would really go a long way towards educating the kids.
Thank you for clearing that up. Gentlemen, the Elmore Stout High School annual spring concert is coming up this Sunday. I know the flyer says Saturday, but it's actually this Sunday, May 16th, viewers. Mr. Crawford, as head of the Steel Pan, what can we expect?
Lots of music. The kids are very excited. We're actually doing, I wouldn't say it's a medley from The Lion King, but it's a mixture of songs that are not very common in Lion King. You know, like BP, the one, the love song, Can You Feel Love Tonight?
Okay,
A lot of persons play that song. But I'm playing more of the songs that you don't really hear, like songs like Pride Rock,
Okay.
Rafiki and those stuff. So it's a medley of different songs from the Lion King. I'm not going to give away the secret of what it's going to be. But then we also have Pan in A minor, which I'm doing because the kids have an ensemble grade to get, and I chose that song for their grade. So they're going to, once they perform it and they perform it very well, that will be part of their grade for their ensemble.
Amazing.
So we're doing Pan in A minor, we're doing Lion King, which is a mix, and we might work on one more. I'm not sure if we're going to have the time to finish it, but it's going to be by Destra and Bunji.
All
I'm going
right.
to see what happens. If not, don't cuss me.
That sounds like more myself, so I'm looking forward to that one, okay?
But we'll see what we can get do.
Wonderful. And of course, gentlemen, we're featuring this junior and senior concert bands, the Fungi Band and the Steel Band, of course. We're still working, I understand, to get the choir back together. But we're working, and these are the bands that are going to be featured this weekend, Sunday, May 16th. At the Eileen L. Parsons Auditorium. That's 7:30 p.m. sharp. If you don't have tickets, the ticket entries are $15 for adults, and that's $5 for children under 12. Come out and really support the teachers, faculty, and staff, particularly the students of the Elmore Stout High School music program, a music program that has been long-standing and has served and passed the test of times, even with Hurricanes Irma and Maria. Knocking out infrastructure, the music program is still thriving and continuing to contribute significantly towards the development of our students, and we are so grateful. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time today, and I look forward to seeing you and enjoying the music production this Sunday.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Viewers, that's all the time we have, but that is not all the content. Be sure to follow us for your daily interviews as well as features throughout our website at twit4media.com, as well as Instagram at Twitter at twit4BVI. And of course, my colleague Jovan Wilson at 6 p.m., she's going to be bringing you the daily happenings of news both locally, regionally, and internationally. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.